Hey everybody, how you doing today? Wow, here we are, episode 145. I didn't know what to even title it. I just don't know what to do. Anyway, oh, oh, I'll put it on afterwards. I forgot to put the link on to the AI video I wanted to show you. I'll do it at the end of the podcast. But here we are. How are you doing out there, all you beautiful people? Are you doing great? Are you doing great? I'm gonna talk about what you said. Oh, somebody gave me all the names of the songs of Ace of Space and told me about a link I could go listen to it. I'm not interested in listening to that album. I don't remember it. I'm not going to go back and listen to it. I just have no interest in it. Uh, I'm not going to do it. Yeah. So thanks for telling me how to do. Uh, one of the songs was "Thanks for Get Me High." I do remember that song. I remember that song. I wrote that when I was in Hawaii, and I kind of like that song. So I remember, that song because I wrote it in Hawaii. And "Thanks for Get Me High." Um, Oh, one of the comments, this guy David, you said you went and did a deep dive into Kelly Bosch and spent the afternoon watching her stuff, and you found an interview, and I've been looking for that interview. I can't find it. Can you give me a link? Can you give me a comment and put the link for that interview with Kelly Bosch? I'm really interested in that interview. And is she in LA? If she's in LA, that's really cool. I got to get together with her, and I need her help. I need her help. Yeah. I need her help. So I'm going to, hopefully you give me the link to the interview of Kelly Bosch and I can hook up with her and she can help me do what I want to do. Anyway, but she lives in LA, I guess. She said she's here. That means maybe you're here too. Anyway, hi David. Thank you for watching all those videos and checking it out. It was so nice to hear that somebody actually was interested in that too and checked it out and enjoyed it. And for you people that are being all negative about AI, that's cool. You don't have to like it. You don't have to check it out at all. Forget it. Don't even bother. It's just it's what I'm into. This is my channel. That's what I'm into. So I'm talking about AI because I'm into it, and it's what I'm into. Yeah. And somebody asked me about my hobbies. Well, if you watch, my hobby is playing music. That's been my hobby my whole life. Like people have hobbies. I've had a few in my life, but really my overriding thing is just playing music and dicking around on the keyboard and singing a little bit. And so that's my hobby. But if you watch my movie, you can, if you watch my movie, you'll see some of the stuff I'm into because I put everything I was into in the movie. Like I think of stuff, I invent stuff, I have crazy ideas. That's what I do. That's my hobby, is thinking of stuff and doing stuff. And yeah, I like that. I haven't tried a VR headset. Those headsets, those big things that go around and you sit and you look in it. I haven't tried one of those. I didn't want to spend the money to buy one because I feel like, next year they'll be obsolete or something. It'll be something else new. So I haven't bought one of those, and I haven't checked one of those out. And they look kind of cool. They look cool. It actually looks really cool. And I would like to check it out sometime, but I'm not interested in spending all that money to check it out. It's not pulling at me that hard. Big Kitty is 6 years old, and I'll tell you how I got Big Kitty. Hey, Big Kitty, where are you? Hey, come here. We're podcasting wherever you are. Anyway, the way a friend of mine was in Newport, and she was going to a pet store to buy pet food for her mother, and they had a kitty adoption thing there, and they had all these cats, and so she took a picture of Big Kitty. He was a year old at the time. It was right before COVID. And she took a picture of Big Kitty and sent me the picture and says, "This is a really beautiful cat. And he's really nice. And and maybe you'd like him. And I said, yeah, I'd like Big Kitty. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. He looks good. And so she talked to the lady, and it turned out this woman who's running the cat adoption thing, she adopts between 1,500 and 2,500 cats. She places that many cats a year. Think about that. She places 1,500 cats a year with people, finds homes for these cats, and she's been doing it for 25 years or something. Anyway, it turned out this lady is an older lady. It turned out the first concert she ever went to was one of my concerts. And this is so crazy. Shows you what a small world it is. Anyway, she drove all the way from Newport or Laguna or wherever it was. I think it was Newport. She drove all the way from Newport to Venice to bring me the cat, and she had my albums with her, and I signed them, and it was really a love thing, you know. And I got Big Kitty, and I thought, well, isn't that amazing, man? Like, I say I want this cat, and it turns out this woman, first concert she ever went to was one of my concerts, and so she shows up with her and her son, and they were in a big station wagon, and and I started talking to him, and she told me she does 1,500 to 2,500 cats a year. She places them. That seems almost impossible. That's like, that's a zillion cats every day she finds homes for. That's pretty amazing. And that's her thing. That's what she does for 25 years. So that's how I got Big Kitty. And he was delivered right here to my house, and it was so cool. And I love him. And, Big Kitty, come here. Yeah. He's cool. He was crazy last night, man. He was chasing me all over everywhere I went. He was chasing me and swatting at me, and he was jumping up on chairs and reaching out to hit me, and he's really crazy. And today he's equally as crazy. I think it has something to do with the weather. Like, it's been raining, so he's like all jacked up. So anyway, I like Big Kitty. I'm glad you asked me about Big Kitty. That makes me happy. Yeah, he's cool. Somebody talked about how hip-hop is, and it's all thug. It's not all about thugs. I mean, there is that element to hip-hop, you know, where they're talking about gangster shit and thugs and hoes and disrespecting women, and that's an element of hip-hop, but that's not all of hip-hop. And the songs I like and that I've collected 2,000 songs in the last, 14 years or something that I really like. So if I don't like them, I delete them. I listen to them a couple of times, and if I get tired of them, I delete them. But if I really like them, I keep them. So far, I have 2,000 songs that I really like, and none of them are about gangsters and thugs and hoes. And so, hip-hop's, hip-hop is just like anything else. There's genres of it. And so there's really creative people doing really cool stuff, and it sort of falls under the umbrella of hip-hop. But they're not talking about all that crazy shit, and they're not doing that. They're not doing that. So I understand how you feel, because it does, sometimes it sounds like that when you hear it on the radio and the stuff, and they're talking about the weirdest shit, and you think, they're talking about the weirdest shit. Somebody else said they'd rather read books than watch AI, and I can dig that. That's cool, Everybody does what they want, so no one has to look at AI. That's just what I'm into right now. I've said this before, but I'm not proud of it. But it just happens to be how it is, and I'm not going to change at this point. I've never read a book in my life. In my whole entire life, I never read a book. Yeah, I never read a book. And I don't say I'm not proud of that, but that's just who I am. Like, I would read a book, I would rather play music. So when other people were reading books, I was playing music, because that's who I am, So what you would say, I'm not well read. I'm not a well read person. I don't feel stupid, but I don't feel well read. I'm not. And like I was saying, I'm not very political. I'm not well read. I'm just not one of those guys. I'm a guy that thinks of fun shit and crazy ideas, and I invent stuff, and I play music, and that's who I am. That's who I am. And I can't be somebody I'm not. And I'm almost 80 years old now. I'm not going to change at this point. I'm not going to read a book, because, for me to sit down and read a book, I could play for 2 hours instead of reading, And everybody has as their interest. So if you're not interested in AI and rather read a book, go for it. And don't watch AI. I'm enthusiastic about AI, and this is my channel, and that's what I'm talking about. And so, but I appreciate your comments, and I totally understand, man. There's books I know are full of interesting shit, and I'm sure it's really expands your mind reading all those books. You know, I'm not very expanded. I have to admit, I'm not well read at all. But here I'm living proof you don't have to be well read. You don't have to be. And I know books enrich people's lives because everybody talks about it that reads a lot, how much. And I have friends that just read a book every day, you know. I mean, they're just into it. And they're my good friends, and they accept me for who I am, and I accept them for who they are. So I hope you can accept me for not doing that, you know. Oh, one thing I wanted to say about Dred Zeppelin. The Elvis impersonator sings like Elvis. He sings like Elvis. So you got to understand, here's a guy singing like Elvis, doing Led Zeppelin songs, reggae style. That's totally creative, you know. And it's crazy. He's sort of a big, you know, a big Filipino Elvis, or I think it's Filipino. Anyway, isn't that crazy? That's so cool, man. That's so cool. People do some shit, man. I think it's so great, man. It's so great. David, if you're out there, David, I know you left a comment yesterday saying you went and liked Kelly Bosch's shit, and you did a deep dive and you found an interview, man. I looked after I read that you found an interview. I kept looking for the interview with her and I couldn't find it. I was so bummed out. So please give me the link to the interview, David. Yeah, how cool. How cool that you like that stuff. I think that's great. Yeah. It made me really happy that somebody really was into it. You know, a couple other people said they watched the AI too and they liked it. And it made me really happy because I'm like doing this podcast and trying to tell people about stuff I found and you know, and it is cool. Yeah, it made me feel good. What else? That's all I have to say today. I could get out of here. I'm going to just talk a little bit. I'm going to post a good video of Kelly Bosch, another AI video. It's totally different than the other ones, so I'll post one every day if I'm not so spaced out. I copied it, but I forgot to paste it. I was in such a hurry to do my podcast, you know. Yeah, and I like that you guys tell me what you're into because, you know, you're into what you're into and I'm into what I'm into and we all are here on the planet getting along with each other. And so that's cool. You're reading, I'm playing, we're all doing stuff, man, you know. I don't watch any TV, though. I got to admit, I'm not a TV guy. People tell me about these cool shows and I just go, I don't know. But I go and scour around and look for creative people and creative stuff, and I'm really, that's what I do. Anyway, I hope you're all having a good day out there. I shouldn't touch my nose. Fucking put my hands in my thing. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Maybe I should get out of here. I'm repeating myself. This morning when I got up, my computer screen didn't come on. I was so devastated because I went to the Apple store 6 times and it's blinking on and off and blinking on and off and on and off. And I'm just going, oh, fuck, what's causing this? It's blinking on and off. And I was so blown away. And now it's not blinking, but I don't know what's causing that. It's just freaking me fucking out. Yeah. And when I go to the Apple store, everything works right. And then I bring it home and it's blinking. And I'm going, fuck, I took it in and they tell me it's working perfectly. I bring it back and it blinks. And I think, what is going on? I had lunch yesterday with Scott Sternberger, a friend of mine, and he was telling me, why do you go to the Apple store? You should get an IT guy to come to your house. And I go, I'm so dumb sometimes. I thought, oh, I could get somebody to come to my house and do that. Anyway, yeah. But I had fun at the Apple Store. One day, one of the 6 trips I made to the store, they made me wait 2 hours because I wanted to see one of those Genius Bar people. And so they says, well, it's going to be 2 hours. Do you want to make an appointment to come back another day? And I go, no, I don't want to come back another day. I want to stay here and get it fixed. So I sat there for 2 hours, and they have this giant screen, and they were showing how to do stuff on iPads and iPhones. They were having these classes, and you could just sit there and watch them. So I watched them for a couple of hours, and I thought, God, I'm so lame. They were doing such cool stuff, and I can barely make a phone call on my phone, and they were doing amazing shit. And the iPads, man, they were drawing stuff, and they were taking people out of pictures. They had pictures, and they would circle the people, and the people would just disappear. And I was going, man, that's so cool. If I only knew how to do that stuff. And they were showing how to do it, but it was beyond me. Anyway, I'm learning slowly. And it's really hard for me because Dylan's not here, and like I wanted to edit something. Like I edited the name of my podcast. I'm just calling it Lee Michaels now. I noticed since I changed the name, and since I took a 2-month break, I have half as many people watching my videos. Oh, I have over 4,000 hours. Like to get monetized, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. I have like 7,000 hours or something of watch time. So I have enough watch time. I just need more subscribers. I just need 150 or 155 more subscribers. And then I'll be monetized, and whatever that means. I mean, I don't have enough people watching to make money, but just the idea of it sounds cool because that's what everybody does. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, tell somebody else to subscribe. Just do me a favor. If all of you people would just get one person to subscribe, I'd be over 1,000 subscribers, and then I'd be on my way to somewhere. And I can't believe that, I have 50 to 70,000 people a month go to my Spotify page, and yet in YouTube I don't have nobody. I'm just not getting recommended. The algorithm is not putting me forward to anybody to know about me. And I know there's some people out there that would enjoy my podcast if they knew it existed, and I for the life of me I don't know how to let them know, because I have like my one song has been listened to over 1 million times. And I see some of those people would like to see my podcast, but I have no idea how to get to them, I thought if I put a podcast up, all these people would come there, but the YouTube is crushing me down for some reason. I don't think they're doing it on purpose. I'm too small for them to have any purpose about me, but for some reason I'm not breaking on through, man. I need to break on through. Maybe somebody would mention me. If you have a podcast, mention me on your podcast. Mention me on your podcast and tell people to look at my podcast. It would really help me. It's very perplexing to me. Hey, Big Kitty, come up here. Come up here. The Big Kitty is sort of cruising around today. If he comes up here, he'll probably bite me. He's in a weird mood. Hey. Come up here. Anyway, I don't know. I think I saw him down there. Yeah, help me with my channel, everybody. Help me. Help me. I need help. So just get anybody to subscribe that you know. Just do a favor. Get your friends to do you a favor and subscribe to me, or your mother, or your kids, or somebody. Just tell them to help us out here. Algorithm, And it's word of mouth. They say most podcasts grow by word of mouth. Hey, Big Kitty. He's just not interested today. He's weird. He's like he's over my podcast just like everybody else. Anyway, that's what's on my mind, man. I'm doing stuff. I'm looking at stuff. I'm trying to figure stuff out. And for the life of me, I don't know what's up with YouTube. Like I've been doing it now since a year ago, February. So like it's 13 months, and I don't even have 1,000 subscribers. Anyway, it is what it is. I guess that's my destiny. Anyway, I really appreciate your comments. Keep them coming. I really, I'm really not into the old stuff, and everybody's asking me questions. Did I know this person? Did I know that person? And I answer the questions because I don't have anything else to talk about. But you got to understand, I'm just not living that era. I lived it then, and I'm not living it now. I'm living something else. And it's cool, and it's cool that everybody's into it because I know that's really good. Oh. And somebody mentioned about tribute bands, they said they call them cover bands. They're not exactly cover bands because cover bands play they play all different covers of different songs, and usually cover bands play the latest hits or hits, of different artists and stuff. But a tribute band plays just one artist. They tribute one artist, like a Rolling Stones tribute band, a Fleetwood Mac tribute band, a Doors tribute band, whatever tribute band you have. And I found out there's some guy, he's like an agent guy, and he owns a lot of these tribute bands, and he just places musicians in them, and different musicians, he just plugs them into the tribute band, and he makes a business out of running these tribute bands around, and he owns all the tribute bands, a bunch of them. So that's funny. Everybody figures out how to make money off music, don't they? So that's a story on tribute bands. So they're cool. I mean, it's not I don't go watch them, but I understand they're really good. They're really good. Yeah, I hear they're really good. In fact, sometimes they sound better than the real bands. They're just playing really good. So that I'm not down on tribute bands. I just don't go see them myself. Anyway. Yeah, I guess that's all I have to say today. Yeah, help me figure this out. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. If you know. I just can't figure it out. I don't know why I don't have more subscribers. Because I know I have people out there that are interested, based on my Spotify results. Every month, 50 to 70,000 people are clicking on my Spotify. So, there's got to be, what is YouTube doing to me, man? I just can't figure it out. Anyway, I'm really happy today. Hope you're all happy. Hi, Phinia. My collaborator, Phinia, man, we're talking about, she's really excited about AI too, and we communicate on WhatsApp. She's in France, and we're both excited about it. We're trying to figure this shit out. So I'm going to try to get together with this girl, Kelly Bosch, who does all those cool AI videos, and see if she can help me, or steer me in the right direction, because she seems to be way more advanced than I am. So maybe she can steer me in the right direction. So I'm going to reach out to her. But I really want to see her interview. So David, don't forget, give me the link to that interview. I have to see it. I'm so interested in it. And that was interesting. In his comment, he said she does them at night before she goes to bed. And she was a film editor during the day. So she sounds like she's a real pro at editing and doing all that kind of stuff. But she does that before she goes to bed, he said. That's so weird. So I'm really interested in that interview. So David, let me see that interview. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I have to say today. Okay, I'm going to get out of here. This is a short podcast, but it was a fun one. You guys, I'm so glad that you're all here. There's not a lot of us, but we all have the good vibe, man. I feel your good vibe. I feel your questions and your comments. I can feel the vibe. It's really good. And you're right about hip hop, man. There's that thug element to it. I just skip past those songs. I dig hard. It's sort of a vast thing. Like there's rappers. Hip hop's sort of big. There's guys that do rap, and then there's guys that are more melodic and more musical. So not all of it is hardcore rap and talking about hoes and guns and shit. That's part of it. Yeah, but that's, you know, certain people like that. That's why those guys all keep doing it. You know, there's like always a new generation of young guys, just like there's always a new generation of gangs, you know, like the young gang guys are all, you know, doing graffiti on everything and doing what they do, you know, and then the older guys have grown past that, you know. And so hip hop's sort of the same way. There's a lot of these young guys are trying to be as outrageous as they can, so they talk about all the gang shit, and that's their life, you know. I mean, a lot of those guys are living that life, and so when they talk about the stuff, it's real, and it connects with their audience because that's the life they're living. They're living in that gang environment, and it's a tough world, and they're talking about it. So that's valid, you know, but I don't listen to that stuff because that's not my world and I have no interest in that, you know. So I understand when you say hip hop, when you say that about hip hop, I totally agree with you. That's sort of, I think that's stupid, but, you know, it speaks to a certain audience and those people are doing it. But hip hop's way more vast than that. It's way bigger than that. It's way bigger. Yeah, that's all I can say. It's big. Big Kitty, come on up here. Anyway, it's big, you know, and there's so many cool songs. And God, oh, hello. Where have you been? Everybody's been missing you. I was talking about how I found you and what a good kitty you are. And what a good kitty and how crazy you've been. How crazy you've been. Yeah, you're a crazy boy. It's so good Big Kitty came up here. He's doing what he's doing. Yeah. Yeah. Hello. You're so pretty. Anyway, I love Big Kitty. I love you guys. Yeah. So maybe I'll put the name of some songs that I think are cool, and it will change your mind about hip hop. You'll look at those songs and you'll think, oh, those songs are not so bad, you know, because some of those songs are good and some of the guys sing good. And hip hop, there's a lot. It's not just a ghetto thing. It's so vast, you know. And really, what's really funny is hip hop has affected music all over the world. Like you can listen to music from India and you hear the influence of hip hop. And you can, you know, it's been around since the 80s, you know what I mean? So it's been around a while. Like 40 years, you know, it's really saturated into the culture. So all kinds of music, even country music, you can hear the influence of hip hop in a lot of country songs, you know. So it's influenced everything. It's influenced rock. It's influenced metal. There's no genre. It's influenced reggae. They have a kind of reggae called dancehall, and it's very hip hopish. Anyway, so it really has been a huge influence, and it's not limited to just gangster shit, you know what I mean? It's really not. So it's like the here and now, man. It's just like there's good music out there, and it's all influenced by everything. And I'm influenced by everything. So I'm singing and playing now like I play. If you listen to if you watch my movie, in the beginning of the movie, you can hear me doing my little I have a language I've invented. And so at the very beginning of the movie, I'm playing and I'm singing in my little language. So that's the beginning of the movie. And at the end of the movie, I just kind of jam along on the keyboard. And it's kind of cool. I like it. It sounds cool. And it felt like right for the titles going off. So I hope you enjoy my movie. I hope you enjoy all my stuff. Yesterday, I met with Scott Sternberg, and he's this producer. He produced Daryl's House. You know that, Daryl's House, Daryl Hall? He had this thing where all these people come to this house and they make music and stuff. And so he produced that for a number of years. And he's a real deal producer. He's got shows on Netflix and everything. So he was telling me, and he really likes Girl Fight, you know, he just really likes that concept. And I tell him, yeah, do something with it, you know, because I'm not going to do something with it because I'm not one of those guys that go out and produce big shows and shit. But it's such a great concept. And that's what I do. That's like my hobby. I came up with that boxing sport. And it's a really good sport. I really believe in it. And I think of all the stuff and safety gun. Hello. I think of all these things like that I have a segment called Safety Gun, and I really like that in my movie. I really like that. And I had some guys that want, oh, this is a good story. When I thought of safety gun, I got these three guys that were involved, wanted to get involved with me, and they were all real business guys. One guy did the Circuit City stores, and they're the real deal guys. Another guy's a big stockbroker, good friends of mine, and they were all very enthusiastic about the guns, the safety gun, and so we were going to do it. We were going to go to the SHOT Show, and we were going to, produce these guns and manufacture them. And then all their wives, this is really the truth, all their wives got so upset that they were thinking about manufacturing guns that they all pulled out because of their wives. Their wives were just outraged that they were thinking about being involved with guns on any level, and manufacturing guns. They just thought that was the worst, So anyway, that was one of my ideas, safety gun. I hope you like that in my movie because it's really a good segment in my movie. In my movie also, Scott, I didn't realize this today, Scott told me when we destroy the truck, there's a scene where we destroy the truck in the movie, and this guy rides up on a bike and he stabs this guy, and then he destroys the truck. Well, that's a true story. And we reenacted it. It's a true story. It's a true story. It happened right out in front of my house. It turned out the guy hadn't paid. I checked out with the local guys, and they says, what happened that day was the guy didn't pay for drugs. He did a drug deal, and he didn't pay. So they stabbed him a couple of times, and they destroyed his truck, and they told him he was lucky that that's all that happened to him, and they didn't want to see him around here anymore. So he didn't come around anymore after that, let me tell you. But that's how it is out on the street out here. You don't pay for your drugs, man, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. And maybe that's how it should be, like you got to be righteous about that shit, when you buy something, you got to pay for it, and you can't try to rip people off, especially guys that are extremely violent like that. So that's a true story. We reenacted it. I know this guy owns a car lot in Venice, and I went over there, and he had the perfect truck, and I couldn't believe the truck looked exactly like the truck that had happened. It looked like the same exact truck, color and everything, of the truck that it really happened. So I told the guy, I says, well, I want to buy this truck. And he said it was $5,000. And I go, $5,000? Okay. And I says, but I don't want to put it in my name. I want you to just bring it over to my street, park it, and we're going to destroy it. And then you take it back to your car lot. But I don't want it in my name. I want to do it, like that. And so he said, okay. I gave him the $5,000. He brought the truck over. We destroyed it in the movie. We filmed it. And then he took the truck back. He brought a shipping quilt. He laid it on the seat because there was glass all over everything. And they swept up the street and everything, and they took the truck away. And that was how it came down. It was really good. It was just organic. It happened. And yeah, his name is Mike, and he has this car lot in Venice. And he's been around forever. He used to own the house next door to me here. He's a real character, and he was a good sport about it, and I destroyed his truck. Now, I don't know, when he took the truck back, I don't know if he did an insurance claim on it or what, but I rented that truck basically and destroyed it. So that was cool. When I look back at it, I go, wow, that was crazy. But I wanted to reenact that story because I was trying to explain how my street is so crazy. And the segment where the girl takes herself hostage, the girl, that really happened, and those are real pictures of it. Now, when the girl runs across the driveway with the gun, that was one of the people that worked with us on the film. She did that. But the rest of it, those pictures were all real pictures of the real happened. That girl sat there all day with the gun to her head. So all these stories about my street are really cool. And then I tell some cool animal stories. Those animal stories are great, about the giraffe. Oh, that was a heartbreaking story. And about the famous zoo, and the whole animal world was so fucking crazy. It was like total carnival brains, It was just the most insane thing. And it's still going on to this day. I know it's still going on. I'm not plugged into it anymore, but that shit never stops. The animals keep having babies, and yeah, there's just all these zillions of animals. And in Texas, there's all these animal places where they have animals, Oh, I was so mad at Ted Nugent. Here's the story. Ted Nugent, is a hunter and everything, but so like he went down to this game ranch, and there's this beautiful antelope, the most beautiful, I forget the name of the kind of antelope, but a beautiful antelope. It's a segment, you can find it on YouTube. And so he goes down there with his wife, and they have these troughs where they feed the animals. They're big game parks, and the animals are just wandering around loose, but they all come to these troughs to eat because they feed them there. And then by the trough, they have a little place where the people sit up in the little place, and then they shoot the fucking animal like that's a sport or something, you know. I was so mad because it's the most beautiful antelope you've ever seen. It was just a beautiful, majestic creature. And Ted Nugent and his wife are there, and she shoots the antelope and kills it. And then afterwards, she's there holding its head up, and it's dead. And it's the most beautiful, fucking beautiful thing. And she said, I always wanted one of these. I always wanted one of these. What a fucking, I was so upset when I saw that. I said, that's not a sport. And he always talks about, you got to eat what you kill. And he's like some hunter guy, you know. Like, I can understand hunting. I think hunting's totally all right. And people go out and hunt, and Joe Rogan hunts, and they go out and kill these animals and eat them. And I understand that. But this beautiful antelope, it was like going to a petting fucking zoo. It was like going to a petting zoo. Like the animals are eating at the trough, and you just wait for them there. You're hiding, and then you shoot them. They just came there to eat. Every day, it's like a setup. You know, it isn't like you went out in the wild and hunted one of these things down and shot it. It's like a petting zoo, man. You just fucking wait for them to show up to eat out of the trough, and you kill them. And she was so proud of herself, and he was telling her what a good job she did. I was thinking, good job. Good fucking job. You killed this most beautiful, majestic creature. And it was just coming there to eat. It was a total setup. You know, that wasn't a sport. There's nothing sporting about that. There's nothing hunting about that. That was just totally gross, man. After that, I was so down on Ted Nugent. I've always thought he was a kook because he's down on people that smoke pot, and he has this shit about people that do drugs and stuff. You know, people do drugs because they want to do them. Who is he, man? He kills shit because he wants to kill shit. How does that make him better than people that do drugs? I don't think so. Anyway, I was so mad at him, man. I was just like, I was livid. And his wife was such a pig. She was just sitting there. She was so proud of herself that she killed this beautiful animal. And she was holding his head up. And she goes, I've always wanted one of these. Why didn't you take a picture of it? Why did you have to kill it, man? What did you get out of killing it? What did you get out of killing it? You know, and they say, you have to eat what you kill. Well, what if you accidentally shot a human? Would you eat the human? I mean, what a pig, man. Anyway, that guy, as much as I like his rhetoric, because he's such a funny guy, you know, he's this kind of redneck patriot from Michigan, and there's something about him that's likable, but he crossed the line that day for me. And I know all of you out there that are hunters, you're going to say, well, that's okay. It's not okay. It was like a petting zoo. The fucking animals just came there to eat. And you're just hiding in a little thing, and then you shoot them. What was that? What was that? Oh, Ted Nugent, you're horrible. Your wife is horrible. You got your brain on backwards, man. And I don't really usually talk bad about people, but that was horrible. That was horrible. So if you go find that segment, it was some fucking segment on YouTube. You go find that and watch it and tell me if it wasn't horrible. And just the look on her face, she was so proud of herself. I've always wanted, that's what she said, I've always wanted one of these. No, she's always wanted to kill one of these. The most beautiful, majestic animal, she's always wanted to kill one of those. What kind of person thinks like that, man? What kind of people are they? They're just horrible. That was horrible, man. You know, and I'm a Second Amendment guy. I believe in the right to bear arms, and I believe in guns and all that stuff and protecting yourself. And yeah, I'm not a pacifist by any means, but that was horrible. Anyway, I wanted to say that, man. He was such a pig, man. He was such a pig. He was so proud of his wife, and she was so proud of herself. And they just killed this beautiful, most majestic looking antelope you've ever seen. It was just beautiful. And it reminded me of the giraffe story in my movie, and how horrible that guy was, you know. And yeah. Anyway, I love animals, and that really bothered me, man. It bothered me to my core. And after that, I thought Ted Nugent is a pig. His wife's a pig. They're just pigs, man. And he's so adamant and so proud of himself. But that was a pig move, man. That was a total pig move. Why don't you go to the zoo and just kill the animals at the children's petting zoo? It'd be the same thing, man. Just go there and kill them. And be proud of yourself, you fucking pig. Anyway, that's what I have to say. I'm sorry. I don't like to be negative, but man, that was not right. That was not right. Some people are just barbaric, man. They're barbaric. I've always wanted one of these. That'll resonate in my soul for the rest of my life. I've always wanted. Well, why didn't you take a picture of that thing? Why did you have to kill it? I've always wanted one of these. And like you acted like it was a sport. You're hiding in a little thing, and the thing comes up to eat, and you shoot it. Fuck, what a pig. Pig, man. Pig wife, pig guy, pig. Anyway, I'm sorry, everybody, but I just that's so upsetting. I haven't thought about that in years, but I just thought about it just now, and I told you. So anyway, I'm sorry to end on a negative note, but Ted Nugent is a pig, and I know you all like him. Some of you do anyway, but I'm sorry. That was a pig move. Maybe he's not a pig in every aspect of his life, but that day they were a piggy. They were piggy beyond belief. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Have fun, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm glad the big kitty came here today. Poof.